Hi everybody, and welcome back to our 6th tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be dealing with the system for banning our users. It's going to be a rather quick tutorial. To start things off, we're going to log in as Mimi, now that we have promoted him in the last tutorial to a user level of 8. You should be able to ban some other users. So let's take a look in here. Logging in here. And you see now the admin page is visible. Okay, so look at the ban list. This is just going to list all the users that have been banned. Now I only got the one in the bans table. So usually I create just a ban called. Okay. Let's take a look at the band PHP and the banned list .php page. Okay, again, this is all pretty standard. He needs a user level of 6 to get in this page. If not, we're going to kick him out. Oops. And to kick him back to the root folder. Remember that from the previous lesson? Aha. Let's save this. Okay, and this is pretty standard. We do this all the time in our HTML. Our navigation box, save us a lot of time. You don't have to retype the navs. And here, what I did is start a simple table. Did the table headers, ID, user ID, by start date, end date, description. So the ID field, the ID of the user that was banned, the username of the user that was banned, who banned him, user ID number 2, he was banned on the 28th, and he's banned until 2025, and the reason is just a test. Okay, so what I did here is I did a MySQL query for everything in the login.bans table, and what I did is I did a while loop. That's what this right here is. And it says while there is a result from this query, so every time there's a result from this query, it's going to execute this code. So here, there's only one entry. If there was 5 entries, the code would execute 5 times. Okay? That's what a while loop does. It'll do, while this condition is true, it's going to keep executing that loop. So for every time, for every person we find in the bans table, it's going to generate the next row automatically. It's going to pull out his ID, the ID, the ID of the user that was banned, the name of the user that was banned, the ID of the person that banned him, the date, and the description, and put it in that folder. Put it in that folder and put it in the table we've created here. Okay, and then we're going to end the table. We start to, okay, and that's pretty much it. That's fairly simple. The only thing that's really new in this page, we probably haven't looked at it, is the while loop. And that's pretty straightforward. So we do a query to the bans table, and for every result that gets returned, it prints a new row. So there's 5 people in the bans table, you see 5 rows. Okay, if there was no people in the bans table, you wouldn't see any rows. Actually, why don't we go over here and ban a user, and then we'll show you how we have 2 people in the bans table, alright? So let's go over here and take a look at ban user. Again, I forgot to do the root directory, so I'm just going to put this in here for the root directory, save it. Okay, our check token section, this is all old stuff. We've done this time and time again, and I'm not going to go over that. This little form here, again, pretty much the same. We've done forms before. This area new, it's what's called a text area input. It's click and draggable, so you can make it any size you want. Okay, and this one I want entered in an ISO date format, which is year 2013. Gosh, Actually, I went with 2018, ban them until 2018, August 26th. Okay, now I'm going to find the name of the user I can ban for this example here. I've already banned Mimi. Okay, we're going to ban Rick. I'll have to unban him after. User I want banned is Rick. Okay. Description. Test. Alright. Like I said before, we're already familiar with all that stuff. Okay, the form is going to get submitted to doBanUser. Okay, I think you're pretty familiar with how to construct a form right now, so we're not going to get into how to construct a form. Let's take a look at doBanUser. doBanUser, okay. Again, this is our standard start session. If he doesn't have a level of 7 or above, kick him out, kick him back to the admin. Okay, and again, standard as always, we're going to check the user input. We're going to check the date input. We're going to do MySQL escape string. I want to store a variable start date in the bans part of the database. That lets me know the date he was originally banned. So to do that, I have to use the date function again to get the date. There it is right there. That date will generate the date in year 2013, month 12, day 30th. Check the token. We've done that a whole bunch of times. You should be familiar with that. Check that the user didn't enter nothing. We've done that several times before. Check that the user didn't enter nothing in the date. Validate the date format. Okay. This is a function you probably don't understand. Basically, what this preg match is trying to say, if it's not in that format there, it will reject it. You did not enter the date in year, month, date, standard ISO format. Here's the link to go back and fix it. So that's what this does here. If I enter something that's not in this format, that's not first 4 digits aren't 0 to 9. First 4 digits here aren't 0 to 9. Second 2 digits aren't 0 to 9. There isn't a dash. There isn't the last 2 digits there. It's going to reject it. Okay. Everything's okay in our verification. We're going to go hit the database with a select to select the users, where the username is the guy who's we want banned. In this case, it's Rick. Poor Rick. He's getting banned for no reason. Okay. And we do the if we find a result, we go on. If not, there's no user. Here's a link to go back and try again. Okay. If there is a result, we're going to put the ID of the person we want to ban. We're going to call it banned ID. The variable banned. If banned is greater than 1, this means the user is already. Okay, we check that the banned isn't greater than 1. In that case, the user is already banned. It says this user is already banned. You don't want to ban him twice. Okay, then we're going to check. Then we're going to insert into the bans table the user ID of the person we want banned. I'd never put in this ID because it's auto increment. It's automatically going to generate the next available number. The ID of the user we want banned. The name of the user we want banned, which was Rick. The ID of the banner. Mimi's ID. Start date. The date who's banned. That's the date we generated up here. The end date. So date we put in there. And again, sure these fields match up with the variables here exactly. Otherwise, you put the wrong data in, and you get an error. And here we're going to select from the banned table where the user ID is equal to the band ID. We're going to select the ID. So this is the ID in the band, this ID here in the bands table. And the reason why we need that is because when we update the user table, we're going to need to update the band ID here so we can reference it on the band table there. So that's why we're getting that ID from the bands table that we just banned. So we just insert them into the bands table. We're going to get the ID, the unique ID for the bands table that we just insert them into. Okay. And so then we're going to update the users, and we're going to set the number in the band to the band ID that we just made. Okay, so we're banning Rick, so we're going to set this level, this value here in Rick, which is 0, to the next ID in the band table, which will probably be 4. Okay. And if there's a problem and we can't set that, we're going to undelete the entry into the bands table that we just made, just in case there's an error happens here, so we don't have him, say, in the bands table and then not a corresponding band ID in the users table. So if something goes wrong, we have to delete, throw in the bands table and start all the way over again, and that's what this does here. But if it's alright, that's okay. So let's go ahead and band test and see how this works here. Okay, let's go to band Rick here. Here's band Rick. Who Rick's been banned. Okay, go back and let's just look at the table now. Let's just have a look at our database here to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let's update the bands table. And now you can see that the Rick is indeed in the bands table with an ID of 3. Let's start the and the test out here. And now if you look in the users, you'll see under band, oh, it's got the ID of 4, so I know that he's been banned. If I want any more information, I look in the bands table. ID 4, that's what happened. Okay. Just before we sign off, let's take a look at the band list again. Ooh, and do a BR. Okay, so let's go over here to band list. And I'm going to put in here. Okay, to fix that, what happened was I forgot to tell it to start a new row, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in brackets tr for a new row, and over here I'm going to tell it to end the new row. Save that. Okay, now when I refresh this, it should be on a new row and everything should look normal. Ding, there we go. Okay, let's log out. Okay, and that's it for this tutorial. Next, we're going to take a look at jQuery and jQuery UI to do some client-side form validation and pretty this system up a little bit more. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to click on the like button, join my channel, or leave a comment. Thanks for watching.